Women are being arrested for lying on men. So today's video comes from Mayumi, our favorite physician, resident troll, and it illustrates how, despite everything that has happened, women are continuing to use lies to destroy the lives of men. I talked about M2 Part 2 and the desperation we're going to see with a lot of women who are basically going to be going after even the janitor so that they can extract wealth and resources from companies. We are going to be entering very desperate times, and as we enter these desperate times, you're going to see levels of desperation and depravity exceed even the things that we witnessed during M2. So this is really going to be part 2 or continued, and it's going to be horrendous. We're going to go ahead and jump into this video, but it's really interesting how women continue to do these things without any regard for a man's life and just are focusing on instant gratification and getting revenge or a win. Let's jump right in.
Story in Action News. Charges dropped against a man wrongfully accused after he spent more than a month behind bars. Tonight, a 20-year-old Bucks County woman says she lied after police said her story didn't add up. Action News reporter Caroline Goggin is live in Middletown Township, Bucks County with the full story. Caroline.
Well, Rick, this is a story we reported on a month ago, and tonight I spoke with the attorney who represents the man who was accused in this grocery store parking lot. That attorney tells me that that woman's story never added up and that the update in this case is better late than never. 41-year-old Daniel Pearson is home with his family tonight, out of jail after the Bucks County DA says he was wrongly accused. This is the woman who accused him of those crimes, 20-year-old Angela Yurimova. Police in Middletown Township said Yurimova called them on the night of April 16th, claiming a man grabbed her in the parking lot of the Redners off Lincoln Highway while he carried and pulled her back toward his truck. Yurimova said she was able to break free and that he drove away. Police used a license plate reader system that spotted a similar truck nearby. They tracked it to Pearson, and he was held at the Bucks County Correctional Facility on $1 million bail. A new complaint now states Daniel Pearson was charged with multiple felony offenses and remained incarcerated for a total of 31 days before Yurimova admitted to her lies. The complaint states that shortly after his arrest, officials received information from Pearson's family that warranted further investigation. So detectives reviewed surveillance video and found at no point in the video did Pearson's truck travel through any part of the path Yurimova claimed the vehicle took. Yurimova was called to the DA's office for questioning last Thursday, and because of more inconsistencies in her story, she was called back in on Friday. That's when the complaint states Yurimova admitted that she had lied about the entire incident. Yurimova said she had seen Pearson and his truck before in the parking lot of her old job, and that he was, quote, creepy. All charges against Pearson have been dropped. And now Yurimova is the one facing charges. She is currently in jail and is due back in court sometime later this month. And according to that criminal complaint we got our hands on earlier today, Yurimova told police that she was going to admit to them at some point that she had lied about this entire situation. At some point, she was going to tell them that before the court proceedings. She also told police that she admitted to her father that she had lied about all of this. We're live in Middletown Township tonight. I'm Caroline Goggin, Channel 6 Action News.
Now, guys, check this out. She had admitted to her father that she had lied about the entire thing. She's 20 years old. Her father knew that an innocent man was sitting in jail on $1 million bail. All right, and he didn't care. He could care less. These are the men who raised these women and then take no responsibility for it. He was an accessory. Let's make this very, very clear. Her father should be in prison. The very moment that he knew that she lied, he should have reached out to the police and said, my daughter told me that she committed a crime. She has lied about the situation. To be very clear, if she had kept on lying, he likely would still be in there. Or he would likely still have charges on him. Because she could have just kept on saying, no, it's not true. He's the one, but she just basically caved. Because she wasn't smart enough or bright enough to figure out how to keep holding down the lie. This is the reality. This is the reality. And why do women do this? A lot of it is for attention, but there's also money. Because when they do these things, they get instant access to charities and funds that, are provided to help women who get into these circumstances. In many cases, up to $20,000 very quickly. They get tons and tons of resources because the United States is a country for women and children. It is not designed for men. Men are not liked. Men are not wanted here. They are used. But we're in a place where this is a very dangerous place for us as men. And of course, she may be in prison. She may be in jail right now. She will get a slap on the wrist. She will get a slap on the wrist. And of course, the feminists are very quick to either run away and dissipate or say that, if they take any action against her, it's only going to prevent women who are actually in these situations from going forward. It's crazy. It's crazy. Realistically, she should be getting the same sentence that he would have gotten. But she will likely just get community service or nothing at all and be told that she needs to go and seek mental health counseling. And that she was, even though it did not happen here, she was the victim of another event that they cannot prove. But, they know how the system works. So they'll basically pull out of nowhere, and she'll basically walk out of court saying that she suffered enough, and she's been ashamed. She suffered from a lot of shame, and she has mental health issues, and and she wants her privacy. She's gonna walk right out. This is what always happens. If we look at some of the comments on the video, right? This one by Speed. How many guys are in prison because of liars like her? Ibe says, it's crazy how the police can just book somebody with no evidence. I think she needs to be charged with what he was going to be charged with. Right? Kim says, this woman needs to spend 5 years in jail for falsifying a crime against this guy. Lauren says, this is the type of woman who finds every man over the age of 30 creepy. Yep. She's noticed him in the parking lot before, and he was creepy. He's never spoken to her. He's never approached her, but she saw him and his truck in a parking lot, and he was creepy. Not because of anything he said, not because of anything he did, just because she didn't like the way he looked. Women are going around saying that, this guy, he gave me the icks. Like, literally, this is the reality, guys, where you can't exist in society anymore. You cannot exist. If you just being here, that's the end of it. That's the end of it. And now I understand what a lot of the black guys have been talking about, where, geez, like, my gosh, where, like, damn, you can have your life just ruined. You don't even have to be there. Basically, they just click and point and say, this guy, thank God. And we live in an era where there's more technology now. There are more cameras everywhere, so there's more surveillance. So you can actually go back and look up this information. You can now, we have cell phones, so you can say, well, the cell phone was at this position at this specific time. And you can use certain evidence to keep track of where, a person's whereabouts. I've already told you guys that where we're heading in the future, we're heading towards an era where men will be walking around with body cams. Like, that's going to be the next big innovation. It's going to be a wearable, a small wearable that's on the chest. Guys wear it on the chest. It's going to be a pin. It'll be a smart device, and men are going to walk around with this device, and it's basically a body cam, and it will stream. It'll connect to your cell phone. It'll connect to your cell phone, and it'll basically allow you to essentially stream that data, and upload that data to to Google, to the cloud, maybe to Apple, iCloud or Google Drive or whatever, or I'll store it on your cell phone. But those are the options. And at every given moment of the day, you will be recording your data. You'll be backing up. You'll be recording every moment of the day. Men will be walking around in society with body cams. Everywhere they go, they'll have a body cam on, and they'll keep track of your location, where you were, what you were doing, and you'll be able to pull up that footage at any given moment. And that's the sad society. That's the sad reality we now live in, where men have to walk around with a body cam on almost 24/7 to protect themselves from something like this happening. This is the hostile society we live in. And then you have lunatics in my comments that are saying, well, America's still the greatest country. There's no other country that has more freedom than America, and every country is worse than America. So no matter how bad America gets, no matter how bad corrupt America gets, no matter how terrible it is for men, it's still better here than anywhere else in the world. Everywhere else in the world is worse than America. Guys, these people are insane. They are lunatics. I've said it countless times. The lunatics are running the asylum. And the people that say this, these are low value men. These are men who will not, they cannot survive anywhere else. Because when I say go and get your passport, they're not listening. They're not listening. They're sitting there. They're complaining about their reality. They're complaining about survival. They're not listening. They're not. Okay. There was someone in my comments who said, you know what? The rent where I'm living is costing it's like between $1,200 and $1,800 a month. What I'm thinking about doing is moving in with a couple of friends. My response, good job, good man. Do it sooner than later. Save that money and invest that money that you save, and that go from there. Okay? Start making cuts where you can. If you can move back in with your parents, move back in with your parents. If you need to move in with friends, move in with friends and rough it. If you have a car, but like for example, you may not like the people that you're living with. It may be hard, but let's say you have a car, right? And you're able to move in with friends. It'll give you a place as long as you have a place to crap, a place to shower, and a place to sleep, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. These are hard times. These are hard times, and everyone is. We are deep into a recession or economic crisis right now. But of course, they're not going to admit to it. And the most important thing that you can do is be out there making money for yourself, investing in things like precious metals, especially cryptocurrency. I've got my courses for you. They're coming. You're going to be able to get that. I have an entire club that you guys are going to be able to join. You're going to be able to jump on there and learn, ask questions, get, feedback from me instantaneously. I mean, guys, you got to start hustling. You got to start moving and bustling. Okay? And you need to begin investing in yourself and building skills, because this country does not like you as a man. And there's these low value men in the community. And why are these low value men here? They're here because they have nowhere else to go. They're here because they have nowhere else to go. You have to understand, a man that cannot pick up his passport and leave is a man that cannot survive. If you are not able to pick up your passport and go somewhere else, if you need to, then you're basically, there's nothing. You have idiots who are like, I'm going to stay here and just go down with the ship. The reason why you're going to stay and go down with the ship is because you're not capable of surviving anywhere else. So if you're not capable of surviving anywhere else, you're barely capable of surviving in America. I'm just being honest with you, because there are so many better options than the US for men. So if you're not capable of surviving somewhere else, you really aren't capable of surviving in America, because it is a living hell in the United States. It's a living hell. And so many guys are afraid to just walk away. That's why men who are walking away are powerful. Men walking away are powerful. They're powerful enough to recognize that something is not working for them and walking away from it. That's what it is. That's all that it is. Men recognizing that something's not working for them and walking away from it. And a lot of men can't do that because they're too afraid to. I've said this before also, that a lot of men go through life, it's not just men, people in general, carrying a bag of poop around with them. And they keep adding to that bag of poop over the course of their lives. And then eventually that bag of poop no longer smells like poop. It smells like roses. Smells like roses. So they don't want to let go of that bag of poop. They're going to hug it and love it because it's their bag of poop. When in reality, they need to put it down and walk away. And a bag of poop is not just the traumas that they've experienced. That bag of poop can also include people who are toxic, environments that are toxic, okay? Things that are toxic, behaviors that are toxic, but they don't want to let it go. They don't want to let the toxic environment go. They don't want to let the toxic people go. They don't want to let the poop go because that's their bag of poop. They're not going to let it go. They're going to go down with that bag of poop. All right? They would rather cover themselves in it than to walk away from it because they've spent their entire lives building up that bag, filling up that bag. It belongs to them. And they feel safe with it. They feel safer with that, with the known than the unknown. They feel safer with the poop that they know than the world and the reality that they don't. And if you try to take it away from them, a lot of them will even fight. They will fight for that bag of poop. Men walking away are done. They're tired. They're sick of it. And they're walking away. It doesn't mean that you don't still have trauma. It doesn't mean that you don't still have struggles. It doesn't mean that these things completely leave. It means that you're tired of them. And you're doing your very best to walk away from the things that are contributing to that bag of poop and keeping you chained to that bag of poop. The poop will always be there. We'll always have that poop. It will always be there, and it will always be tempting to go and pick it back up. But it doesn't mean that we have to chain ourselves to it. We have the choice to walk away from the things that don't work for us and the things that keep bringing us back to the bag of poop. Guys, don't forget that I also have another channel called Angry, where I discuss anime, gaming, new stuff, real world stuff, and whatever else interests me. There's a link to it in the description of the video. Go check it out, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the content. And if you're enjoying the content on the Angry Guy channel and you want even more of this content, you can head over to the Men Walking Away channel. There's a link to the Men Walking Away channel in the description of the video. Go check it out, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the content. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Women are being arrested for lying on men. Let me know your thoughts on this, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and cheers.